Um, I wanted to talk today about this experiment that I'm planning on doing. I made out this beautiful, very, very professional um, experiment sheet, which I hadn't even done since I was in school and had pretty much forgotten how to do them. So this was odd. Um, so the experiment is going to be a pipette versus a spray bottle because I've seen in a lot of videos people use spray bottles, but then I read this article that it said spray bottles were actually quite detrimental. So I've just been using pipettes, but I've been curious to see if there is any truth in the spray bottle thing, because using a spray bottle would probably be a lot easier. So instead of just like swapping over, I'm going to do an experiment. Because I'm going to the Northern Invert Show, when I'm there, I'm going to get two spiderlings from the same egg sac to do the experiment with, so that we can say, right, well, these are two spiderlings, identical situation up to the point when we start the experiment. So, like, there's not much I can do in control situations. Like, you're supposed to have a much bigger subject pool. I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, so yeah, that's the experiment. Two spiderlings from the same egg sac, so from like the same person, same species, same size, everything. Put them in two identical enclosures and water one with a spray bottle, like a 500 milliliter one, because that's the kind of size that I see most people using, and one with like a standard 30 milliliter pipette, and then keep records over time until they bolt. So like I'm hoping that there's no difference and that they molt at more or less the same time. I'll give them like 2 weeks leeway, and we'll keep doing it until both of them have molted. And I'm gonna sort of keep you updated on these results. So yeah, that's the experiment that we're gonna do. We're gonna try and find out if using spray bottle has like an adverse effect on the spiderlings, and on their growth rate. I can't have a sterile lab condition because I don't have access to that kind of like equipment and places. I don't have enough money to be able to do a proper 30 spider pool or like. But what I thought was that because really this data is more for me and for spiders that I'm raising in the conditions of my house, I thought at least it's useful to me. And if you, the people, wanted to conduct this same experiment at home, then you can use this like sheet as a guide, and like, you know, if you do videos about it, like, link back to me, let me know you've done it, because I'd be quite interested in seeing results from other people to see if anyone else has done this before, if they have some anecdotal evidence, or if they're going to have a go of it themselves and see what the difference is. I wish I could really make it like properly identical, but there's no way to do it. Not with like the budget for this experiment is going on the spiders. You know, like, I've already got lots of pre-prepared boxes and substrate and things like that. So it's really the budget is the spiders, and that's what I can afford. You know, so they're probably going to be brackies or something slow growing and cheap. I'm going to try my best to do an identical feeding schedule, because obviously there'll be slings, so I can just give them fruit flies, and I can put the same amount of fruit flies in the enclosures. And I don't have to worry, like with crickets, that the crickets would like have a little go at the spider, because I'm sure that like oh, I forgot what I was talking about. The fruit flies. I'm sure that like the fruit flies, it doesn't matter if there's like a couple extra wandering around, but with the water, I'm worried that with the spray bottle, it might make things like really beyond soggy. Like I do pipettes, and I do like a few little dribbles of water across the substrate, and like fill the water balls. But like I'm worried that with a spray that might be a lot more moisture, so I'm not sure how that's going to affect the substrate. So I may not be able to water them on the same schedule that I do feed them, because there'd be too much water. That was the point that I was trying to make, and failing miserably, completely and utterly miserably. So yeah, I'm going to record these results until they've both malted, but obviously I'll let you know when the first one does malt. And so this is like a sort of a project preview, if you will, and I'm putting the information out there because I would really be interested in other people doing this and feeding back the results, sort of doing like a crowd experiment, like a crowd science. There must be a word for it that I don't know. There probably is. I better go Google that. Anyway, so that's my mad ramblings for the night. Thanks for listening, and hopefully I'll see you next time.